Hello, namaste. Welcome to No One Cares. Today's episode is very special. Friends, you remember long back I did one podcast with all of my friends and it was quite a good podcast, but we missed one of our very good friend in that podcast. She said she is not going to join the podcast because she can't just talk for talking. She needed some meaningful, good quality content which she would like to share. So here on the occasion of International Yoga Day, I would like to bring Ranu Mishra to No One Care. She is accredited transformational coach from ICF and she does lot of coaching for corporates, but with her yogic knowledge, which yoga she is practicing I think from decades, and with her yoga she has helped so many of us. Like so many times we are emotionally low, we don't feel good about ourselves, and that's our gateway, we go to Ranu and seek for some guidance today. So I thought let's have some nice chit chat with Ranu and see what all we can get from her and how yoga can help in our professional well-being, because I want to practice yoga all the time but don't get time. My work commitments, travel commitments, all those things stop me from practicing yoga in a daily routine. But with her we would like to still know how can we practice or have that yoga in our daily life, those meditation moments and yoga moments in our daily life, which will help us to make our journey little bit smooth. Okay, so here we come with Ranu Mishra, my very good and my very dear friend. I can easily call her my bestie. So we have Ranu Mishra today.
Namaste Prajakta. Namaste audiences. Wish you all a wonderful yoga day today.
So Ranu, as in all my audience would like to know, how did you start your yoga journey? What made you think that yoga is something which you need to practice, and how it has become such a big thing in your life?
That was just magical, Prajakta. So it was way back in 2007. We had just moved to Pune, and I stumbled upon a yoga class going on in the society I was staying in. So just to experiment, what is it all about? I grew up, my father do yoga all the time, and frankly, I was not so appreciative about him standing on his head, and I warned him, better dare you do this when my friends are around, but that's all over. And I happened to attend these classes which were run by an Iyengar disciple, very, very sincere and a learned teacher. And those classes became a doorway for me to know my mind, my patterns and thoughts, and become more conscious about how I conduct myself.
That's so nice, Ranu. Many of people, even I used to think yoga is all about, asanas and postures. And what is your take on this? What do you think, how yoga brings, how yoga is different from just practicing some exercise?
Thanks for asking such a wonderful question. And it's not only your perception, Prajakta. The world largely feels that yoga is all about the postures. Yoga is all about asana. Yoga is all about having toned body, great flexibility, standing on your head or your arms, and at the end displaying those pictures on Instagram off late on the recent trend. But yoga is far bigger than this. If we are just focusing on asanas or looking at the flexibility, we are not even scratching the top surface of the whole entire wellness regimen, which has been passed over so many years, for 5,000 years old wisdom. So yoga is a complete wellness routine. It starts, I would say, asana and breath work is a bait for people to get hooked to the practice. Oh. But once they begin to get benefits, those physical benefits and overall sense of well-being, they slowly move on to the deeper aspect from asana, pranayam, pratyahar, which is like the withdrawal of the senses, drawing inward, getting in touch with their deeper being, and ultimately, getting into the state of dharana, dhyan and samadhi, which leads to self-realization, the ultimate purpose of human birth on this, in this universe.
Oh wow, like it's like, you keep telling me this, so I would like to tell, like, for Ranu, yoga is her, I think it's not she practices yoga, she breathes yoga. Am I right?
Yeah, you can say that now. I accept it.
Yes. So Ranu, like from the journey of a yoga practitioner to the yoga teacher, what do you think is like the magical moment for you? Do you remember something, which actually did the lot of change?
So Prajakta, there was no specific moment as such which I can share here. It was more of a evolving and a reflective journey for me.
Okay.
So I met variety of students dwelling in variety of bodies, and it was through their journey my growth happened. When I got to know about their vulnerabilities, their life stories, their questions about how they can deepen up their yoga practice, my growth happened.
Okay.
So, and it's an ongoing thing. No one arrives and no one has ever arrived, I think. And we all are work in progress. So yes, I'm enjoying this, my evolutionary journey.
So it's safe to say, like, while teaching the students, life taught you a lot of things.
Yes, absolutely. Students became my teacher.
Oh wow, that's so nice. That's so nice. So Ranu, like I face this challenge, and like I am sure many professional people nowadays are facing this challenge. We feel like, nowadays the jobs are a lot desk oriented job, lot of screen time, lot of fatigue, lot of tiredness, along with balancing the social life and working hours. What as a yoga teacher, as a coach, what do you feel are the challenges today's world, or you can see, like, the professional people are facing, and how you can relate? It can, help yoga. Yoga can add value to it.
Oh, certainly. So this is a big and a real challenge that you have brought in, Prajakta. I feel people are tired.
They are. I am tired.
People are tired. And all the more because of the nature of work, with regard to the frequent travel, hopping countries, long hours in the flight, in the car, moving from one place to another place. It all entails longer sitting, and it takes toll over your spine. It takes toll over your knees. Then constant desk jobs, longer screen time, multitasking, juggling. So they are barely moving. If at all they are moving, they are behind the wheels. And a lot of thinking is happening. So mind is never calm, is not getting any rest. So there is no reset moment for them.
True.
And of course, breathing is shallow because we all take our breaths for granted, and we barely give any attention to the quality of our breaths. So all in all, it's all jumbled up into a mass of this flesh and blood, which is moving like a zombie from one place to another place. Yeah, and a lot of health issues even in younger professionals these days, by virtue of work, the coaching work that I do, I come across a lot of stress and burnout issues, especially people coming from the corporate space.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, they all need to do something about it, and those who are aware and are already doing work are seeking benefits. Yes. All such kind of, this kind of a lifestyle is leading to stiff joints, tight shoulders, jammed backs, or we often hear about, I can't raise my hand and wear a t-shirt because my shoulder is not allowing me to lift my arm up. Blood pressure issues even in younger folks. That's kind of scary actually.
And like I have often heard from you, like, whenever I am stressed, you will say ki it's related to your show,
Yeah.
Are you feeling pain here? So how, like, even that is something related, if all your emotions are related to the body joints.
Yes, when not given a good window to express openly, we tend to hold ourselves back, and those unexpressed emotions, they show up and in various areas of our body. Like people, women especially hold a lot of stuff in their hips. Men feel stress around their neck.
Okay.
And the shoulders, because the kind of responsibilities and the financial pressure people, deal with on a day-in-day basis to match with their lifestyle, the way is rushing so fast, and it's quite complex.
That's nice. That's good to know. And that's why, it's always very important to express yourself, because if you don't express it, it's going to come out in some sort of pain in your body. That's what, me and Ranu always keep on discussing. You can, Ranu is always available to discuss with you whenever you need. But that's find a friend, find someone where you can express all your emotions. That's what, I have learned from Ranu.
Yeah, and your thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah, there should be a safe space for people to open up.
True. How can we if I'm working also and I miss out my morning routine of yoga, stretches and all, can you suggest some yoga postures which a working professional can do during their working hours, which helps them to relax little bit and take care of their pains or stretching? Can you suggest something for all my professional friends?
Yeah. Something is absolutely better than doing nothing. So I don't guarantee that doing something for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, how long it's going to benefit. But there has to be start someday or at some point in life. So if somebody wants to, initiate it into yoga practice and they don't have time, they spend a lot of the time in the office sitting in front of their monitor. So there are some basic stretches that they can do, like seated on a chair, and this is how we usually sit, right?
Okay.
With computer in front of us. So holding the armrest of the chair, inhaling, you lift the chest up, slightly turn your head up and look up. Arch your spine. Exhale, you slowly round your back and take your chin close to the throat pit and breathe out. So this brings some mobility in the spinal column, opens up the chest and deepens up the breath. Inhale, you arch your spine. Exhale, you round your back and drop your shoulders. So this is one basic movement which anyone can do seated easily on their desk.
And they can do any time, and how many?
Of course.
What
This
do you
is a
suggest? How many times you need to do this? Or
if somebody is picking up for some gentle stretches, just 4 or 5 deep breaths are good enough in per posture. Then once this is done, then the next follow-up exercise could be a gentle or a simple twisting. Continue to sit the way you are seated. You lift one arm up and hold the other side of the armrest of the chair. Take the other palm and hold the backrest of the chair and move. With inhalation, you lift the spine up. With exhalation, you gently twist your spine. Try to align your shoulders in one straight line and continue to breathe. Be there for a few deep breaths. And with exhalation, you come back and repeat it on the other side.
okay.
There are few more postures which are very simple in nature and can be easily practiced from the desktop. So I will demonstrate them separately for you to follow very clearly. So some postures for people, busy professionals who are glued to long hours at their desk, release their jammed and tight shoulders. They can begin with simple shoulder rotations. So keep up their hands over the shoulder, bring the elbows together, slowly take it up and make those circular movements. And let these movements be very, very mindful. Don't forget to breathe while you are rotating your arms in the shoulder socket. And close your eyes and feel the movement. Visualize the head of the shoulder moving in the shoulder socket. And do the reverse, backward, forward. Get your elbows together, inhale, make the circular movement. So doing it few times will bring in a great sense of relief around your tight shoulders. Then the next thing is, with not able to keep our posture correct all the time, and we tend to slip into the hunchback while looking down at the screen. So they're bringing a lot of issues of cervical spondylitis because we barely keep the screen like this while we are using the device frequently. So there's something around the neck that can be worked by each one of us. So taking the ear, the respective ear to the shoulder. Keep the mental counts in, and at the count of 10, slowly drop your right ear to the right shoulder. Ensure you don't lift the shoulder, rather take your ear towards the shoulder and connect to the stretch that you feel in the opposite side of the neck. Be with that stretch for a few breaths and slowly begin to bring your neck back at the center. So 10 counts, you take the ear down. So 10 counts, you bring your neck back to the center. Once you are in the center, do it on the other side. Ensure the shoulder remain relaxed while the ear goes down towards the shoulder. Connect to the stretch that you feel in the opposite side. Slowly you come back to the center. And now take the chin close to the throat pit at the count of 10. Once you feel that your chin is touching the throat pit, feel the flexion in the neck and slowly come back to the center at the count of 10. Very slowly, it has to be done very slow. And then opposite side by taking the head up towards the ceiling, feeling the stretch in the neck. Coming back to the center at the count of 10. And now neck rotation. You slowly take your chin to the right side, making it parallel to the shoulder. Be there for 2 deep breaths and slowly begin to get your neck back in the center and move your neck on the other side till you feel your chin has become parallel to the shoulder on the left side. Connect to the rotation in the neck. Be there for 2 deep long breaths and come back. So you give the circular movement, extension, flexion and the lateral stretches. So in a way you move your neck 120 times. Yeah, and this is called as Brahma Mudra. Then other posture is, take your arms back, interlace your fingers, roll your shoulders back and lift your chest up. Turn your head up towards the ceiling, look up and breathe. You feel the gentle arch in your lower back. On exhalation, you slowly loosen up the grip, drop your head loose, drop your shoulders, round your back. Do it a few times. Then standing forward bend. So you have to stand, keep your legs hip width apart. Okay, and gently bend forward from the hips. So from here, I can show the side. You can go down this way. Keeping the spine parallel to the floor, knees straight. For those who have difficulty reaching the floor, can keep the knees soft and get the feet on the floor. Palms on the floor. Or you can stay halfway, holding the opposite arms with the palms, maintaining the arch in the lower back, chin forward. And slowly drop your head loose, let it dangle, let your arms sway sideways. And come back. So these are the certain spinal movements and the neck movement, shoulder movement. We can begin to work on a daily basis, investing just a 5 minutes to 10 minutes of investment, which will relieve those stiff joints and make you feel good in your bodies.
Thank you so much for showing us simple postures which I can sit and do during my office hours. What do you think? Is there like any time where yoga is effective, or how much duration we should do? My listeners would like to know because we often listen that mornings are the best to do Surya Namaskars and all.
Yeah.
Can you enlighten us with little bit about the timing, duration?
Yeah. Considering that we are all at the go and we barely get any time to, build a habit on a consistent basis, what I would say, anybody who's aspiring to build in this routine, build this regimen into their routine, Ideally, traditionally speaking, morning time is the right time.
Okay.
Because the world is still and there's not much of noise around, plus it sets the tone of the day and you get the maximum benefits. You can center yourself, set the intention for the day, how you want it to be. So the morning time ideally, and it's not about the length of the session or the length of the practice, rather what is more important is the consistency.
Okay.
Even if you do 10 minutes,
Okay. But daily is important.
that has a bigger value than the length of the class once a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and other than that, any time of the day which allows you to, bring in your presence to the mat and be fully present to your practice, however short it is going to give a lot of benefit
Okay.
in enhancing the well-being. And so, any time of the day is fine, but stick to the routine, stay consistent,
Okay.
focus on small wins every day.
Like we keep on saying ki 3 days a
Yeah.
week and all those things. You
Once a
suggest
week,
do
try
for a small
yeah.
duration, but for a regular
on a regular basis.
time.
Yeah, and over the time it builds up.
Okay.
You will yourself be so hooked to it. You will get so addicted. It is addictive, actually. You look
I
at
know
me.
that. I know
look
that.
at me. Look at me.
I know that. I have experienced with you. Yes, it is addictive, definitely. When once you start, it starts growing on you. It's not
Yeah,
something
exactly.
which, you start feeling uncomfortable if you miss out the
If you miss
practice.
out, yeah.
So I have felt that, like I remember what kind of change yoga brought in my life and how it helped me. So yes, it is addictive. I can, vouch for that. What for my all around the world, our global audience, for us as an Indian, we know that yoga is not today's practice. From thousands of years, it has a very rich history and science behind it. Would you like to tell all our global audience about yoga and its roots in India and how it evolved and how the things are?
Yeah, and I feel so proud of being an Indian, and rooted to this ancient wisdom. So I feel India has given a wonderful gift to the world by passing on this timeless ancient wisdom. It comes from over 5,000, 6,000 years, and if I roughly remember, it's mentioned in the Rig Vedas.
Okay.
And just around some 2,500 years ago, sage Patanjali has documented and structured the entire yogic wisdom in Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and which has become a Bible for all the yoga teachers, for coaches, for wellness practitioners, and for people across the world. And the wisdom, the knowledge is applicable for everyone, irrespective of the faith and religion that they follow. So it clearly speaks that it is universal in application.
True.
It is not just, something which only Hindus need to follow or people coming from India. We know it. I mean, it's a known fact. And with International Yoga Day, Modi ji has made it relevance across the globe, and communities spread across are, openly embracing that, practicing it, and making it as a part of their life. So you see how rich the Indian heritage and knowledge system is.
Yes, I seriously feel like yoga is not something which is just exercise or some physical activity. It's something about well-being of each and every human. It cannot be put into some exercise routine or something.
Yeah.
And it's very much universal.
Yeah.
Like it's for humanity rather than just one religion or one country.
Yeah.
It's some practice which can bring stability in each and every human mind. Am I right?
Yeah, so Prajakta, the essence of yoga is absolutely not in the physical exercise. And as I said before, it's a bait for the human beings and the modern people to get hooked to the practice. But the root word behind yoga is yuj. So in Sanskrit, yuj means union.
Okay.
Now we might just wonder what is this union about. So this union is about the individual consciousness which is present in each one of us
Okay.
to the higher consciousness.
Wow.
So with the practice, we elevate ourselves to a level wherein we feel connected. We are the part of the whole.
Wow, deep.
It is.
It's quite deep.
It is quite deep. And then there is a sense of interconnectedness with that feeling.
Yes.
That like I am the part of whole, Prajakta is part of whole, and so is XYZ. And we all are connected, we all are global citizens.
Yes, I think that's why after doing yoga, you feel so much of humbleness, grounded. You feel grounded. Then there is like, lot of gratitude.
Yeah.
And you don't have to, that practice itself brings that.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Absolutely, because prior to getting into the practice of asana, there are certain ethical grounds which lays the foundation for the practice forward. So those are called yama nima.
Okay.
Yam and niyam. So there are social conducts and there are personal conducts, and it clearly says ahimsa.
Okay.
Yeah, non-violence, surrender to God, maintaining the personal cleanliness. Then there are Sanskrit names which Sauch, Santosh, Tap, Swadhyaya, Ishwar, Pranidhan.
Wow. That sounds good. I obviously know the meaning, but they are...
So being content in what you have. And when we inculcate those good qualities and conduct ourselves with discipline, even in the social settings, it sets up the tone of higher ethical standards in the practitioner, and it gets inspiring for the one who's watching or the one who wants to become like that. See, if everybody is practicing yoga, can you imagine the kind of society we'll be living in?
I get your point, what you want to say. So, to my viewers, I will say that yoga is not only going to give you a good health, but it's going to give you good mind and good spiritual wellness.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. The spiritual growth happens because of yoga practice. It starts with asana. It starts with standing on the head.
True. And I'm liking the way you're sitting, so I'm also going to try this posture.
Sure. Feel yourself.
This is called Sukasana in yoga. Am I right?
Yes. Sukasana.
So, can you explain in English what is Sukasana?
Sukhasana is a simple cross-legged seated posture, and it is very amusing to see, when I attend weddings, the grooms and the brides are barely able to sit on the floor cross-legged, and the Panditji is asking them to sit cross-legged for Havan and all, and most of them, their legs are up, their spine is rounded, and instead of giving the ahuti straight like this, they're doing like this. So it all looks very funny to me, but what to do? I empathize with them, and I wish they get into their Sukhasana in a proper manner, in a yogic manner, by virtue of the practice, if at all they get onto the practice.
So Ranu, how is a feeling like as a Indian or as a yoga practitioner and now teacher, when you see yoga has from the ancient knowledge and ancient practice, it has reached global. How do you feel? Like, what is the emotion like? How you feel when you see a lot of country people come to India, come to Rishikesh. They they try to become and they try to understand this knowledge from like I've seen for months. They come, they practice this. How do you feel?
Oh, I feel, it's a very, very humbling experience to see, global citizen hungry to know more about this knowledge and the practice. And believe me, Prajakta, when I was training myself to be a yoga teacher at Shivananda, the practice hall was filled with 75% Westerners and only 25% handful of Indians in the group. So that made me think, why do we take our own knowledge and wisdom for granted while others are, embracing it with all their heart and mind. And I think that's the issue with all the Indians, we tend to underrate our own stuff, and once it gets, approved in the West, it becomes, it fetches our attention too. But nevertheless, as far as the attention is going, and now the scene has changed and developed a lot. Lots and lots, and many Indians are also picking up on the practice and are committed to their daily practice. So yeah, it's a very humbling experience, and it fills me with pride to acknowledge that yes, yoga hails from India, and its applicability is universal. So it is timeless and it is eternal. The entire world is celebrating it.
That's so nice. One of my favorite tea is at Ranu's home because I think she makes with so much love.